Oh, hey, it's Mary here, and we're at Occupy LSX. We've got about 2 days before Julian Assange is in the Supreme Court of the UK, which David Cameron argues should be the Supreme Court of England, and that the European Court of Human Rights should have no validity over any kind of issues of human rights, because there are just far too many human rights in this world of deportation and indefinite detention for 5 years in British prison without any right to a trial or habeas corpus or basic Magna Carta virtues. So in the meantime, I'm just kind of hanging out here at the library, and I found this sign today, and I thought it was really interesting. I'm going to read it to you, what it says. Well, let's see. It says, respect each other. Let's see. Respect each other's skills and abilities. Everyone has something to add. Feel empowered to contribute your own knowledge and experience to the discussion. I don't agree with using hand signs. I think we should all be able to make up our own hand signs. Please don't talk when someone else is speaking. Please respect St. Paul's safer space agreement. And I think that's so funny. That might mean we're not allowed to be screamed at like the big bully of Occupy did last night. Let's see. Anything you can offer that... Yeah, anyway. So, that's kind of nice. And overall, I'm pretty sick of Occupy. Up there are these little robots put up there by Televersion, and they're all little messages. I really need a spotlight, or it says, take charge, it isn't okay, change please. Oh, I don't know, what does it say? End growth. Oh, that's so silly, so fun. I'm hungry, the line for food is really long, some guy just tried to grab my braid, and Aaron sent me an annoying email about how I needed to decide whether or not I'm in a relationship with him, and I told him it's all in his head, and everything's all in his head, and I miss my friends Nick and Peter, my favorite people in America, and I can't wait for the court and trial, and I can't wait for the American scholars coming in. Found a cool book on Australian law, went into church and saw the female minister administering the Eucharist, yet there were no toilets, and so I had to use my gender to acquire a toilet, at which point I really embarrassed the male cleric. But it's really kind of insane to me how they close off the toilets, and I'm like, what is the church for? If you can't relieve yourself, how can you possibly pray? But this is the same church that Giles Fraser abdicated from in protest of their hostile treatment of the Occupy. And it looks like the Occupy is still standing despite its numerous difficulties, including lack of cups. We lack warm socks, we lack rugs for these cold concrete ground. We often have chain smokers in here smoking away. We have alcoholism, we have racist detention policies. I just spoke with my friends. We're possibly making a movie shortly about a racist discriminatory knife search for people that had not a knife at all. And it was very much, they were singled out for having a high quantity of melanin in their skin, and that makes me really sad. But I've grown to really expect a lot of racism in England with the state of their media, with the London School of Economics and Guardian partnership towards the racist attitudes. It's only increasing the narrow-mindedness. And then also I heard last night that the riot was a paid operation, and whether it was paid by journalists or police, they were saying police, and I've read journalist as well, and it seems that I said, well, obviously it was so for us to get the Olympic security contracts, is we're going to do a little sort of staged flash mob to make it, to show that London police are kind of wimpy after they killed that man at the G20 protest. It's all very tricky, and I don't like anti-Semitism in Europe. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it's almost 2 months now since I was exposed to a very gruesome example of it by some WikiLeaks supporters. They know who they are, and I don't look forward to dealing with their covert hatreds, and I really wish they'd come clean about that. But that's kind of where we can't all be perfect, I guess, is that some of us are into incitation to racial hatred and some of us aren't. And I hope that the Occupy LSX can be as inclusive as possible. I told my friends who had provided a documentary to me, which I titled The Truth About Racism in England, about some hate crimes and verbal abuse, that their video had been seen 120 times, so I count that as a victory, because this kind of testimony from women of color in England who are experiencing racist, violent, threatening actions that are not being investigated, I think that kind of story needs to come out. And if it takes women filmmakers with lousy cameras like me and no time and no home for editing, I think that's really important. So I'm happy about that.